Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zane's of the View. I just redid this video 4 times in the hopes that I can get my point across without getting upset. Because this is an upsetting type of situation here. I'm responding to the video from Miss Jade, CindyCanBeOriginal's YouTube page, about what MsProphet773 said to her. Let me tell you this. I saw what she originally responded to Miss J, because Miss J asked her, what are your views? The way you sound was black supremacist, black nationalist. I don't know which one it is. Roughly speaking, it isn't exactly word for word what she said. I'm not trying to put words in her mouth, but I'm just saying she just wanted to understand what she was talking about. What are her views? And I managed to watch about 5 to 6 minutes of it. It's 9 minutes long, and I could not watch any more than that. It was very upsetting what this woman said. I'm sorry. It was upsetting to see how much hatred she has. This woman hates white people, and she hates herself. She does. This is the most saddest thing I've ever seen for people who come from America, who is African American. Really, I have not seen this much hatred in a long while. So I just want to say this for anyone who's watching this, or maybe MsProphet773, to let her see this. Look, the way this woman looks, she looks maybe about in her mid-20s, maybe early 30s. I'm almost 42 years old in a couple of months. I'll be 42 years old. I'm lucky to look this young, you know, if I even look young at all. But I could tell you, living through the 70s, 80s, and the 90s, and into the 2000s, I could tell you something. I can tell you that a lot of people were very confused on how they felt after the civil rights was over in '68. I don't care what anybody says. If people say civil rights never ended, it ended. When Malcolm X died, and Martin Luther King died, and John F. Kennedy, and Robert F. Kennedy. 4 guys, 2 guys who were white, and 2 guys who were black. When they died, the civil rights movement ended, and it became a shadow of itself. Moving on. People just never was the same. The way Miss Prophet is talking, she talks like Malcolm X in his early years, before he went to Mecca, before he met white Muslims. And everyone knows, you go to the Middle East, you'll see maybe brown skin or light skin Muslims. At my physical therapy place, there's a white skinned Muslim woman. Pure white skin. Lighter than I am. And I'm light skinned. Mostly light skinned. But you know what I'm saying here. This woman really doesn't see how angry she is. Hearing most of the stuff she was trying to quote from the Bible, and I wish to say I don't really know the Bible that much anymore. I follow Native American faith now. I was born a Catholic, and I almost became a Jehovah's Witness, and there's nothing wrong with either Catholic or Jehovah's Witnesses. As much as people want to bash them both, they have good people and they got bad. But the point of the matter is this. Most of what she said from the Bible, she was misquoting it. And of course, there's open for interpretation of her words, but not as much as she said. Because after the flood of Noah, you saw a whole bunch of different tribes, a whole bunch of different people from different countries, and most of them were not dark-skinned. Some of them were light-skinned. As much as anyone doesn't want to hear it, there were light-skinned people as well as there were dark-skinned people and people in between. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that Jesus was a dark-skinned person, not a black person or a white person, but in between. He looked Arab. He looked tan-skinned. Maybe a little bit darker than me, but not by much. That's what they say. So, what she's saying makes no sense. I'm not trying to bash her, I'm not. But your hatred might be skewing your feelings of... Whoops, goes a picture. Sorry, a picture just fell. Might be skewing your perception of how you want to relate to your people, how to empower themselves. Miss Prophet wants to empower her people. She wants to empower African Americans. But she's doing it in a way that is like the 60s. Hatred. I'm sorry. Saying that white people are mongoloid. Well, in a sense, like Neanderthals. That they're primitive. That they're garbage. I can understand why a lot of people hate white people. I can understand it. But I'm going to tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say this simply. If you actually believe that there shouldn't be any beings around that are light-skinned, then why in the hell, and I'm saying this clearly for those who follow what she says, why was the white people born in the first place? Because of the devil? I'm sorry. Devil didn't have that much power to create his own race. He didn't. God created them. No matter what country they come from, he created them. So they were meant to be around. They were not meant to be hated any different than you are. That is the truth. And I'm going to say this right now. You look at me. Look at my hair. I got straight wavy hair. My mother's name was Elaine Williams. Her married name, right after I was born, she got divorced. My mother's name was Elaine Williams Johnson. Her husband's name was Bill Johnson. He was black. My mother was black, mixed. My grandmother's name was Agenera Treadwell. Agenera Treadwell. My grandfather's name was John Thomas Williams. They were both black, but one of them was mixed, or both were mixed. I come from a line of black people who are mixed in America. And what Miss Prophet had said, saying that African blacks and American blacks are the same and they look exactly the same, she really needs to look at her own picture on her own YouTube page, because she looks lighter than I am. I'm mixed with 4 different races. No, 3 actually. 3 different races. Black, Native American, that's Cherokee, Navajo, Chinese. Oh, it is 4, I'm sorry. And Puerto Rican. I'm mixed with 4 different races. My father, who isn't much of a father, was Puerto Rican. As you know, islanders from Puerto Rico mixed with Spaniards and created Puerto Ricans. The word Puerto Rican is a Spanish word. It's not a word from that continent originally, that island. That is a Spanish word. So I'm already mixed with even more than just 4, but those are the majority. If Miss Prophet believes that she's not mixed with black and white, and believes that actually her white DNA that is from her heritage is not eschewing her DNA, she really needs to look at herself, because UK blacks or UK Africans do not look that light skinned, not unless they're mixed with white. The Caribbean blacks, which are from Jamaica, which are from Barbados, which are from a friend I know from St. Vincent, they're completely even different than that. They're islanders mixed with African black, most of them. And they look entirely different. You could see they're a different type of black. But there are some who are light-skinned because they're mixed with white. And if you believe Miss Prophet, you're not mixed with white, and your dominant DNA is black, African, and it's overriding it, then you really need to evaluate yourself, because you're too light-skinned to be black. I'm sorry. You are way too light-skinned to be black. There are very few black people that are that skin color, unless you're albino. And my ex-wife, she is albino. She looks way whiter than me with blonde hair and bluish green eyes. That's an albino. That does happen in all races. The albino DNA is in every race you got. Doesn't make a difference. They have it. But you don't got it. You got brown hair. You got brown eyes. You got brown eyelashes. You got brown eyebrows. You're American black that is mixed with white. Every American black is mixed with white. I'm sorry. Unless in the last 50 years, you have a relative or your parents came directly from Africa. Had you, then you met an African that came from Africa directly, had been with them and had a kid, it's the only way your next generation will be pure, untainted, as you will call it, Miss Prophet 773, pure African. And please don't think I'm bashing you. I could. But I'm not doing it. I want you to see that your hatred is skewing your want and love for your people. You seem like you really want to educate them, to give them empowering of themselves. But your hatred is blocking that. Just like with Malcolm X until he went to Mecca. Malcolm X met Muslims who were white and realized everything that Farrakhan and everyone else who is in the black Muslims right now, and you could say whatever you want if you agree with them or not. I don't agree with them, but they back then believed that all white people are evil, but they never talked about the people in the Middle East. They only talked about the people in America. But when Malcolm X went there, he realized they were wrong. Because if they're talking about all whites, that means they have to talk about the brothers who are near Mecca, who are in Pakistan, who believe in the Muslim faith, Afghanistan, who believe in the Muslim faith, Iran and Iraq, who believe in the Muslim faith, that are light-skinned and maybe near my own color, maybe a little darker. But they would be considered white by black Muslims. I say this to you. Please think about what I just said. I don't want you to hate yourself. See what you are. You are an American black that's mixed with an ancestry of white, which is not 100% bad. There are white people that are good and black people that are good. There are white people that are bad and black people that are bad. Thomas Jefferson was not a bad man. He wasn't. Franklin wasn't a bad man. He was a good man who cared about black people. Check your history. Benjamin Franklin cared about black people. He tried to help them. So what does that tell you? That it's not the race that's a problem. It's the mentality in the race that's the problem. So I'm hoping anybody understands this, and I hope you enjoyed the same interview next to seeing my hair all out. If you want to subscribe and comment to this channel, understand I do wrestling mainly. Sometimes I do this. And for Miss Jade, I saw you showed your Facebook pictures of you and your fro. Honey, you look lovely. I really feel bad that you didn't feel comfortable with your hair when you were younger. I can understand that. I used to have curly hair. A lot of times when I was a kid, I wish it was straight for some reason. I wish it looked Native American, where they have straight hair. Hell, look at this. This is a poster I got that shows Native American hair. It shows it straight. And as you saw, oops, sorry. As you saw, my hair is straight wavy now. My hair went and became what I always wished it was. I didn't understand who I was years ago. I didn't understand I was mixed with so many different backgrounds. And one of them was Native American. And my heart always was called by it. And now that I follow it, not only am I a more happier person, it makes sense. So have a good night and take care.